This is Pride of Prejudice, Chapter 6, Part 2. What a charming amusement for young people this is, Mr. Darcy. This is nothing like dancing after all. I consider it as one of the first refinements of polished societies. Certainly, sir. And it has the advantage also of being in vogue amongst the less polished societies of the world. Every savage can dance. Sir William only smiled. Your friend performed delightfully, he continued after a pause, on seeing Bingley join the group. And I doubt not that you are an adept in the science yourself, Mr. Darcy. You saw me dance at Merton, I believe said. Yes, indeed, and received no considerable pleasure from the sight. Do you often dance at St. James? Never said. Do you not think it would be a proper compliment to the place? It is a compliment which I never pay to any place if I can avoid it. You have a house in town, I conclude. Mr. Darcy bowed. I had once some thoughts of fixing in town myself, for I am fond of superior society, but I did not feel quite certain that the ear of the London would agree with Lady Lucas. He paused in hopes of an answer, but his companion was not disposed to make any. Elizabeth, at that instant moving towards them, he was struck with the notion of doing a very gallant thing, and called out to her, "My dear Miss Elsa, what are not you dancing? Mr. Darcy, you must allow me to present this young lady to you as a very desirable partner. You cannot refuse to dance, I'm sure, with so much beauty before you." And taking her hand, he would have given it to Mr. Darcy, who, though extremely surprised, was not unwilling to receive, when she instantly drew back and said with some discomposure to Sir William, "Indeed, sir, I have not the least intention of dancing. I entreat you not to suppose that I moved this way in order to beg for a partner." Mr. Darcy, with a grave propriety, requested to be allowed the honor of her hand, but in vain. Elizabeth was determined, nor did Sir William at all shake her purpose by his attempt at persuasion. "You excelled so much in the dance, Miss Elsa, that it's cruel to deny me the happiness of seeing you. And though this gentleman dislikes the amusement in general, he can have no objection, I am sure, to oblige us for 1/2 hour." "Mr. Darcy is all politeness," said Elizabeth, smiling. "He is indeed, but considering the inducement, my dear Mrs. Elsa, we cannot wonder at his complaisance, for who would object to such a partner?" Elizabeth looked archly and turned away. Her resistance had not injured her with the gentleman, and he was thinking of her with some complacency when those accosted by Miss Bingley. "I can guess the subject of your reversary." "I should imagine not. You are considering how insupportable it would be to pass the many evenings in this manner. In such society, and indeed I am quite of your opinion, I was never more annoyed. The insipidity and yet the noise, the nothingness and yet the self-importance of all these people. What would I give to hear your strictures on them? Your conjecture is totally wrong, I assure you. My mind was more agreeably engaged. I have been meditating on the very great pleasure which a pair of fine eyes and the face of a pretty woman can bestow. Miss Bingley immediately fixed her eyes on his face, and desired he would tell her what lady had the credit of inspiring such reflections. Mr. Darcy replied with great intrepidity. Miss Elizabeth Bennet, repeated Miss Bingley. I am all astonishment. How long has she been such a favourite? And pray what I am to wish you joy. This is exactly the question which I expected you to ask. A lady's imagination is very rapid. It jumps from admiration to love, from love to matrimony in a moment. I knew you would be wishing me joy. Nay, if you are so serious about it, I shall consider the matter as absolutely settled. You will have a charming mother-in-law indeed, and of course she will be always at Pemberley with you. He listened to her with perfect indifference, while she chose to entertain herself in this manner, and as his composure convinced her that all was safe, her wit floated long. That's the full part of the show. Thanks for participating and listening to Pride and Prejudice, Chapter 6, and we'll be continuing with tomorrow with Chapter 7. Thanks for listening, and again, thank you a lot. Thank you for your support, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.